Okay, boys and girls, welcome to day 2 of dividing polynomials. Now, you may look at this worksheet and think, hey, didn't we do this yesterday? And you are correct, we did. Yesterday we did it using long division. Today we're going to do it using synthetic division. Now, synthetic division is what we like to call a shortcut. But the problem with it is that it doesn't work on all problems. It only works with problems where your divisor is a binomial. And the good thing for you, that's all the ones that we're going to give you, is where your divisor is a binomial. The other limitation is that the coefficient of this divisor has to be 1. So it does not work as well with problems like this one. So it doesn't work as well with problems like this one. You can get around it, but it's complicated and it's or this one. It's complicated and it's annoying, so we're just going to ignore it. Let's just ignore it. Let's just do happy problems, right? Okay. So, synthetic division is a routine that you can use. I'm not sure who came up with it. And the best way to show you how to do it, to teach you how to do it, is to show you. So, we start with this has to be a binomial, okay? That has to be a binomial with a coefficient of 1. So this meets the requirement. It's a binomial with the coefficient of 1. We're going to take the opposite of 8, negative 8. What's the opposite of negative 8? Positive 8. And we're going to give positive 8 its own little house. And then we are going to write the coefficients of each of these. So 1, negative 7, and negative 11. We're going to write those values. So we're not writing any of the variables, just the coefficient. So 1, negative 7, negative 11. Now, just like long division, every term has to be represented here. So it has to be in decreasing order, squared, 1, and then a constant. Okay? So our first step in this is just to bring down the 1. See, easy peasy? Okay? So we bring down the first term. Maybe I should write some steps down. Bring down first term. Okay? And then the rest of it is just a matter of multiplying and adding. Can we do that? We can multiply and add, correct? So we want to multiply 8 times 1. So 8 times 1 is 8. And then we add these two together. Negative 7 plus 8 is positive 1. Then we do 8 times 1, which is 8, and we add those together and get negative 3. And I forgot to tell you, this last line is going to be your remainder. So we'll put that over by itself. So it's going to be by itself. So then our answer, so believe it or not, this is our answer. Since we started with squared, we're going to drop a term. Okay? So we're going to drop a term. So drop a power. So this is going to be m plus 1. And that's my answer with the remainder of 3. So we're going to put that over 8. And I'm going to check my answer because I haven't done synthetic division in, m plus 1 minus 3 over m minus 8. I haven't done it in a minute, so I just need to make sure I was doing it correctly. If I had messed up, I would have started the video over, so don't worry. Alrighty, so let's do the next one. So does the next one fit? So we have to look at this. Is it a binomial? Yes, it's a binomial. Is it leading coefficient 1? Yes, it is. So we can use synthetic division. So remember we're going to, and I didn't write my terms down. So we take the opposite. We bring down the first term and then we multiply and add. Okay, so let's try that again. So this fits our criteria. So we're going to take the opposite of 5. So that'll be negative 5. And then we write the coefficients. So my coefficients are 1, 10, 18. Bring down the first term. And then we multiply and add. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. We add those together, we get 5. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. We add those together, we get negative 7. Okay? Then we drop a term. Since we started with x squared, our first term is just going to be n squared. Our first term is going to be n plus 5 minus 7 over n plus 5. Not being very bad at notation here. Just remember that that's my remainder. That last column is always the remainder. It's been a long time since I've taught this. Okay, let's do another one, because we could do these all day, right? So we have, this fits our criteria. It's a binomial, and the leading coefficient is 1. So we're going to write this as, and we take the opposite of the 7. So we're going to write that as 7, give it its own little box. And then we write the coefficients. So what are my coefficients? 1, negative 3, and negative 21. So all right, 1, negative 3, negative 21. And this time I'm going to remember this last column is my remainder. I bring down that first term, and then I multiply and add. 7 times 1 is 7. Adding those together, I get 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Adding those together, I get 7. So dropping the term, I get n squared plus 4 minus plus 7 over n minus 7. Let's do one that might make us think a little bit. Okay, let's try number 18. It's got 4 terms, but we're not going to be bothered. But the other thing I want you to see about this one is that we're going to have to rewrite this as k minus 1. I'm just using the community property of addition to rewrite that. So k minus 1. So everything else remains the same. So I'm going to give k its own little box. I'm going to give 1 its own little box, and then I'm going to write the terms negative 5. Oh, this has another problem. It's not written in standard notation. Our coefficients it has to be written from highest coefficients to the least. So this is k cubed minus 5k squared plus 8k plus 4. We had a name for that, descending order. So it has to be written in descending order. So that one was all kind of jacked up to confuse us. So we're going to write the opposite of 1, give it its little house, and then we're going to write the variables. 1, negative 5, 8, 4. So once we've done all that, it just goes back to the way that it was. We bring down our 1, we multiply and subtract. Multiply and add. Oh, and hey, look. No, that's 8. I thought we were going to get a remainder of 0, but we didn't. So it's the exact same way. We just had to do it a couple of more times, but it's the exact same thing. And so we get k squared minus 4k plus 4 plus 8 over k minus 1. Okay? Easy peasy. Let's do one where they dropped a term. So let's look at number 11 where they dropped a term. See how this term is dropped? And we're just going to rewrite that as x squared minus 0x minus 74. That's the only difference. So I'm going to take the opposite of 8, negative 8, so that's 8, and write my coefficients, 1, 0, negative 74. I guess you're wondering why I wrote this as negative, because it's 0, it doesn't matter. I can write it negative, positive, however I want to. All right, bring down the 1, multiply, 1 times 8 is 8. Add 8 times 8 is 16, and I am not even, oh, that's wrong. See, I told you I have a hard time with this simple stuff. 8 times 8 is 64, and that's going to give me negative 10 as a remainder. So my answer is x plus 8 minus 10 over x minus 8. Easy peasy? Well, maybe not, but it's okay if it's not. All right, I'm going to let you do a couple of problems on your own, and then I'm just going to get you to pause the video while you do those two problems, and then we'll come back and talk. So what the two problems I want you to do is 4 and 6. And in 6, remember you have to add a term. All right, so pause the video and do problems 4 and 6. Okie dokie, welcome back. And again, I'm just going to show you the answers for 4 and 6. And if you did not get the correct answer, be sure to mention that in your exit ticket today, and we will see if we can get you some more examples. Okay? All right, boys and girls, have a great day. Do your IXLs and your exit ticket, and you will be finished for today with math. See you later.